Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in on the class library this morning. If you tuned in last week, I'm sorry about that ridiculous class that I taught. We're going to try it again today in the studio, but we're gonna like add a little bit of relaxation and restorative to it. So this class will be an hour long, but we're going to do a little bit of power flow in the middle. Hope you stick around. So we're going to start lying down on our mats. I want you to shake your legs or your feet side to side, wiggle your toes, relax your hips. And allow your legs to be still and shake your head side to side. Just gently relaxing your neck, relaxing your shoulders. When you bring your head back to a neutral position, a stillness, take a big breath in and exhale, let it go. Another big breath in, exhale, let it go. Allow these big inhales and exhales to just bring you into the present moment. To bring you into this space. To have this time on your mat. As you continue to lie here, take your awareness to your hips. To the front of your hips, all the way down to right where your quads start. Those hip flexors. Take a big breath in there. And just notice that space. Are your hips tight? Do they feel good lying here relaxed? And then staying in that same area of your body, notice how the outside of your hips feel all the way down to around your sacrum. All those little muscles that lie on top of your sacrum connecting to your hip flexors, to your glute muscles, to the outer hip. And on that last exhale, we're going to go right into a figure 4 position on the right side. So I want you to bring that right leg in, tuck it in towards your chest, and then take the right ankle on top of your left thigh, bringing both legs in. So we're going to take this figure 4 position gently because we're just starting this morning. But if you want to, thread your hands through, wrap them around your left hamstrings, and just let that left leg go. You're keeping your upper body completely flat on the mat here. But you're gently trying to open up that IT band on the right side. So just notice that space. Notice if those muscles are a little snug as you just warm up this morning. Trying not to overstretch, but working with your breath to allow that muscle to loosen up. And on that last exhale, just bring your right foot in, off of your left thigh, reach that right leg up straight for a stretch, and switch sides. That left leg should already be in close, so just take the left ankle on top of your right thigh. And repeat the same thing on this side, either threading your hands through, but just allowing yourself to take your time here, to not overstretch. On that last exhale, lift that right leg up, lift your left foot off of your right thigh, open it out to the side, reach both feet up towards the ceiling and flex those toes back towards your knees, pressing the heels up towards the ceiling. And exhale, just gently bring the knees into your chest, and we're going to come up into a seated position. So just rock over to one side or the other, up into a seat. We're going to come into a comfortable seat just to stretch out our side body here. Same thing, working with those hips again. I want you to take your right hand, bring it across to the opposite side of your left thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Taking big breaths in, you can engage your core here by lifting up on your lower belly or pulling those lower ribs in. And inhale, come back to center, just switch sides. Left wrist on top of your right thigh, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, come back to center, take an exhale, reach your arms up nice and big. As you reach your arms up, interlace your fingers and press those palms up towards the ceiling. As you press the palms up towards the ceiling, we're going to tip over to the left. I know I'm not a mirror this morning. Pull the core in, stretch out that right side body as you tip over to the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right side. Inhale, back to center, reach up through your hands, exhale, bring them down to your sides. Beautiful. Coming right out onto a tabletop, onto your mat, and we're gonna lift up into our first downward facing dog. So just getting right into a downward facing dog here. And I want you to take your time and really press that right heel down into the mat, or down towards the mat. It doesn't have to touch the mat, that's fine. And I want you to lift that right heel up just a little bit and shift that left heel down into the mat. Press that heel down. Switch sides, right heel down, left heel up, and you can make a deeper bend into that left knee if you want to. You can even cock one hip to the side, whatever feels best. But I want you to stretch out those calves. And switch sides. And one more time on either side, take your time. On that last exhale, try to meet with the even weight in both feet. If the heels aren't all the way down into the mat, that's okay. And you can always bend your knees to give a little bit of resistance in those legs so that they don't overstretch. I want you to then press down into your pointer finger and your thumb. Shift those elbow pits towards each other, or those elbows out to the side, or like you're trying to scoop them back toward your toes to open up your chest. Gaze back toward your knees or your thighs. Make this a really strong downward facing dog rather than a passive stretch. Take 3 more big inhales and exhales here in this downward facing dog, keeping it nice and strong. Lower belly lifts in, lower ribs lift in. Inhale, gaze up towards your hands, step one foot up and then the other. Inhale, look up halfway, lengthen through the top of your head, keep those legs grounding down and out. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up, keep your legs strong, lift. Exhale, hands to your sides. Good, we're gonna warm up with one full sun salutation. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Take the hands to the mat, step the feet back, come into a high plank. I want you to take this slow here because it is our warm up. Pull the core in, puff up your back, look towards the front edge of your mat. If you need to take your knees down onto the mat, you can. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Hold your chaturanga. This is a pose, it's a breath. Exhale, upward facing dog. Or inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. In our downward facing dog, keep those arms active, press down into your left foot, and inhale, reach your right leg up. Lift your right leg up nice and high. Take those right toes over to the left so that you open up that hip. And I want us to make little circles or big circles with that right knee. So just make a circle with that right knee. Do this 2 or 3 times. And then switch directions if you've done it 2 or 3 times. Just trying to open up that hip. Keep the knee bent. Keep grounding down into that left foot. Lift that right leg straight up towards the sky and exhale, take it back down to meet the left. And we'll switch sides. Left leg lifts up. Take the left toes over to the right. Pull the core in and make circles. Switch directions. Inhale, reach that foot up. Exhale, take the foot down to meet the right. Bend into those knees, take the chest down toward your thighs. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the knees, chest down towards the thighs like you're taking your tailbone back towards the wall behind you. You're light in your hands, straighten your legs. One more time, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, gaze forward towards your hands. This time I want you to step or hop those feet forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold, heel toe those feet out. Hip width apart, grab onto opposite elbows. Give yourself a break, let your upper body hang. Shake that head, yes or no, side to side. You can make your knees soft or you can keep those legs active. Make this a little bit about what your body needs this morning. Make this your practice. You don't have to do everything I do exactly. And you're always welcome to come back to a ragdoll or a child's pose if those arms get a little tired this morning. Exhale, just drop the hands heavy down towards the floor. Heel toe those feet back together. We're gonna step back into an easy downward facing dog, so just step it back. No chaturanga, just get right into it. And we're gonna try out this figure 4 position that we started with in our downward facing dog. So I want you to lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, just bend that left knee, take the left ankle on top of your right thigh in your downward facing dog. Now you can be up on the ball of that right foot, or you can keep the right foot down towards the mat with just a soft bend in your knee, whatever feels good. But we are going to stretch out that leg by bending into the right knee, bringing our chest down towards our legs. And then straightening. And exhale, bend. And straighten. And bend. And straighten. And then on this exhale, keep that left foot where it is. And we're going to just turn over into a side plank. So you're going to come onto the side of that right foot. Lift your left hand up if you can. When you lift your left hand up, we're going to lift that left leg up. And then as you're reaching that left hand towards the left toe, I want you to come back over, bring that left foot up towards the hands. So that's our funky transition today. All right, so keep bending into that left knee. We're going to stay onto the ball of that right foot here. Take a moment, ground down into those feet. Good. And I want you to keep the right hand this time planted on the mat. We're gonna do this both sides. So I want you to press down into that right hand. You can use a fist if you need to, but take that hand onto the mat. And then I want you to take this left hand. I want you to really engage that shoulder, reach it straight out in front of you. So engage that shoulder by pulling the shoulder blade back into the shoulder socket. And then I want you to turn the thumb down towards the mat. So palm faces out, thumb down towards the mat. Keep that shoulder pulled in close. Keep the core tucked in. Take the palm back up, thumb up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left hand down. This time, left hand goes to the outside of that left foot. Keep pressing down into the left foot. We're going to do the same thing with that right arm. Reach it straight out in front. Reaching that right arm straight out in front. Reach through the fingertips and then take that shoulder, plug it into the shoulder socket. Good. Take thumb down, faces out. Or palm faces out, thumb down towards your mat. Keep that shoulder plugged in. Inhale, reach the thumb back up. Take an exhale, just relax, both hands down. Now I want you to come knee down onto the mat. Ground down into that left foot. Take a moment here, open up your legs. Also take this moment to give yourself a break because we're going to go back into working on our shoulders and our legs at the same time. So just take a few breaths in and out. Take a moment here to pull that core in so you're still keeping this pose in an active state, keeping those muscles working. And then on your exhale here, take that right ball of the foot back down onto the mat. And you can actually, if it feels better, go more into a side angle pose here, so keep that whole right foot on the mat. Or if you feel good keeping it this way, that's fine too. But this time I want you to ground down and out into both feet. Reach that left arm out in front of you. Reach the right arm out in front. Plug both of those shoulders in towards your shoulder sockets, and as you exhale, take the arms back. Keep those shoulders plugged in, reach those hands together. Squeeze the palms, reach the hands out. Gaze down towards your mat, use those legs. Exhale, we come out the same way we came in, slowly reach those hands out. Plug the shoulders in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Rotate over onto the right ball of the foot, take the knee down onto the mat, let yourself sink into this pose. Take both hands to the inside of that left foot. And you can either come down onto your forearms into more of a lizard pose, or you can just keep the hands on the mat or the fists on the mat. But try to really stretch into those legs this morning. We're going to go back and forth between some passive stretches and some active stretches. And I want you to really sink into those passive stretches. That's what helps your recovery. On that last exhale, bring those hands back onto the mat. Take and lift that right leg up. Press into both hands and step back into a downward facing dog. Shake those hips side to side. Give yourself a moment, give yourself a little break. Exhale. Bend into both of those knees, sink those hips back, chest towards the thighs, and then straighten the legs. We're going to go right into this other side. We're going to start with our figure four position, right side. So lift the right foot up towards the ceiling. Bend into that right knee, open the right knee out to the right ankle on top of your left thigh, figure four. Bend into that left knee, so either ball of the foot onto the mat or whole foot can stay, whatever works. Keep those shoulders plugged in, elbows can bend softly if they need to. Straighten your leg. Exhale, bend. And straighten your leg. Exhale, bend. Straighten. Exhale, flip it over to the side plank. Lift that right arm up, pull your core in. Lift that right leg up if you can lift it up straight or keep your knee bent, it doesn't matter. Lift. As you reach the right hand towards your right toe, we're going to flip it back over, that right foot steps up to the mat. This is the last one, guys. We'll go back to our restorative after this. Good. So this time, left hand's on the mat, right foot's down onto the mat. We're on the left ball of the foot. We're going to press down into that left hand, and we're starting with our right arm, reach it straight out. Plug that right shoulder in, pull the core in, ground down and out into both feet. As you exhale, take that thumb down towards the mat, palm faces out. Keep the shoulder plugged in, rotate that hand back, and this time scoop that palm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release. Hand comes down onto the mat, drop that left knee down, sink into your low lunge. Like I said, on the other side, and you'll feel it more on this side because our muscles are a little bit tired. Allow your muscles to sink into these passive stretches. On your exhale, lift that back leg back up, ground down into that right foot. Keep those legs active, quad active, hamstrings are active. Right hand goes onto the mat outside of the right foot, and we're lifting our left arm up. Lifting it straight out in front, pulling that shoulder in, thumb up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, come down. And inhale, thumb comes back up towards the ceiling, scoop the palm up. Exhale, release. We'll take an extra break on the side, drop that knee down into the mat. Relax. Whole foot down. And ground down to that right foot, lift the leg back up. So this time, if you want to take the whole foot of that left foot onto the mat, you can. Or you can stay up onto the ball of the foot, whatever feels good. But same thing, we're activating those legs, pressing that right foot forward, left foot back, bring both hands out. Both hands reach out, pull your core in, pull those shoulders in towards the sockets. Exhale, reach those hands back. Keep squeezing the chest and the back, interlace those fingers, squeeze the hands together. Exhale, same way you went in, you come out, slowly reach the hands out. Exhale, hands to the mat. Lower down this time is where we go all the way down into our lizard pose. So you can take the forearms onto the mat, drop into a low lunge. Take a few breaths here. Last exhale, press the hands onto the mat. Come up onto the ball of the foot. Press into your hands, just take that leg back. Downward facing dog. And your downward facing dog should feel like a nice stretch this time. Both legs are warmed up, loosened up. Gaze back toward your toes. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bend those knees, take the chest towards the thighs, ground down into your hands. We're gonna add in 3 hops. So ground down into your hands, press into your feet, tailbone back, lift up, hop, down. As soon as you go down, up, and up. Great, downward facing dog. Step both feet forward towards your hands. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Take a ragdoll, take a child's pose, whatever your body needs right now. Swing side to side gently. Again, soften the knees if you need to. Hands drop heavy down towards the floor. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold and close towards those legs. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Once more, inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Press the hands into the mat, step the feet back. We're gonna lie down onto our mats. Take the hands out to the sides of your mat, fingertips onto the floor, elbows up towards the ceiling. Ground down into those fingertips. Inhale, lift your chest up. Keep those legs active on the mat, tops of the feet, tops of the quads. Exhale, lower the chest down. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Ground down to those fingers. The whole hand is fine, but elbows up towards the ceiling. This way you can really open up your chest as you lift. Exhale, lower. Once more, active legs, lift them. And lower. Good. This time, take the hands out to the sides. All the way out, relax those hands. And you can turn and take the right ear down onto the mat. We're coming close to the mat. We're gonna lift that left leg or bend that left knee. The left foot comes up. But I want you to lift your left leg up and over towards your right hand. It doesn't have to touch your right hand. We're just opening up that hip and reaching. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop the leg down. Lift your head up gently. Switch sides, left ear towards the mat. And this time we're going to lift that right leg up. So bend the right knee, lift that leg up. Toes go over toward your left hand. Inhale back. Exhale, drop that leg down. You can take the chin onto the mat, shake your hips side to side. Now for this next stretch, we're going to incorporate our arm movements that we use in our side angle pose, activating those shoulders. So I want you to take your arms out in front of you. Your chest is going to lift just a little. I want you to reach those hands out, plug those shoulders in. Keep those legs active. Your feet are on the mat. They don't have to lift. They're on the mat. Reach those hands out, shoulders plug in. Thumbs down towards the mat. Shoulders still plugging in, arms still active. And then without touching the floor, I want you to act like you're swimming through water. Take those arms strong back behind you. Good. And inhale, bring it back. Relax. So this time when we go into that stretch, we're going to take our hands behind us, interlace our fingers, and give that squeeze in those shoulders the same way we did in our side angle pose. But I want to continue breaking it down by activating our shoulders. So lift up just a little bit, keep those legs on the mat, reach your hands out. As you reach your hands out, plug those shoulders in. Thumbs down towards the mat. Just like you're swimming, take a big swimming stroke all the way up. Open up that chest, reach those hands back. You can reach the hands back or interlace the fingers. Lift. Breathe. And exhale. This time just relax. Good. So these are great stretches for our lower back, this whole section by our sacrum. Activating those muscles helps support our lower back. But this is also great for our shoulders, for those of us that have tight shoulders from desk work or texting, whatever. So I do want to do that one more time. So take those arms, just gently reach them back out in front. Break it down the same way, lift up, lift your arms, reach, plug them in. Plug those shoulders in, reach those thumbs down. Legs stay active and on the mat, just like you're swimming, strong arms. Reach them back. Interlace the fingers, squeeze those hands together. Exhale, release. Take and make a pillow with your hands. Relax your shoulders. You can bend your knees if you need to. Switch those legs side to side. Exhale, release, drop those legs back down onto the mat. Take your hands, pull them back, just fingertips below your shoulders slightly. Press down into those hands, lift up into an upward facing dog. Exhale, back into a downward facing dog. Lower those knees down onto the mat, come into a child's pose. Sink your sit bones down towards your heels, reach your hands out, drop your head down onto the mat. Grounding down into your hands. Inhale, roll up, tabletop. We're going to go into a thread the needle pose here to stretch out our shoulders that we just used. So ground down into your right hand. Lift your left arm up. Exhale, thread the left hand through the right hand and right knee. Come down to that left shoulder. And I want you to make this pose your own. So notice how your shoulder feels. Notice what it needs. If you want to take the right hand, reach it out towards the front of your mat, you can. If you want to take and wrap it behind the back to open up the right shoulder, that's fine too. I like to keep my hips balanced with my sit bone reaching back towards the wall behind me. But some people like to take a hip out to the side. It feels better. It's totally up to you. On that last exhale, place the hand down onto the mat. Inhale, unravel, reach all the way back up. Exhale, hand to the side. And switch sides. So we're pressing into our left hand this time, right arm reaches. Exhale, thread that right hand through the left hand and the left knee, come down onto the right shoulder. And same thing here, either hand reaching out or wrapping behind you. But think about this tricep muscle, these shoulder muscles, everything that holds on to that shoulder girdle that we have. If you're closing your eyes, you don't have to close your eyes, but if you are closing your eyes, I want you to really visualize those muscles, even if you don't know exactly what they look like. But think about where you're feeling that tightness or that tension in your shoulders and visualize that spot. And give yourself a moment to just think, what could I do to make that feel better? If you need to shift one way or the other, you can. And then taking and pressing that left hand into the mat. Inhale, unravel, reach it all the way back up. Exhale, hand back to the mat. Come forward, one knee at a time, to a seat. So I want us to work on that figure four that we just did. Basically what this class is around is a figure four. So I want you to take that right foot, right ankle just above the knee while we're sitting. So we're not trying to work on lotus here, we're just trying to work on that figure four, but you might not want this ankle digging into your quad, so you can let it pass just a little bit. I want you to sit up nice and tall. Think about your hips here, your hips in this space. Think about trying to plug that left leg back into your left hip. Sit up tall so that you're not sinking down and rounding out your lower back. Think about sitting up tall. So these are just little tiny movements. You feel as if they're not doing anything, but keeping this left foot super active, plugged back into your left hip. Right leg is bent on top of your leg. You're sitting up as tall as you can. And I want you to reach those arms up, plug those shoulders in towards your arms. Again, pull the core in, reach up while also grounding down. And then hinge forward. So hinge slowly, we're still reaching out, we're still keeping our limbs tucked into our torso, but we're reaching out and we're folding forward. Just go as far as you can here. We're not grabbing the foot, we're reaching out. hold, and breathe. Keep the body active. Inhale all the way back up, same way you came in. Reach those arms up, plug those shoulders in, keep the legs active. Exhale, release. This time, lift that right leg up, sole of the foot in towards your inner thigh. So I want us to start the same way, but we're gonna make this a passive stretch. So reach the arms up, sit up as tall as you can, coming out of those hips. The hips are almost hinging forward slightly so that we're not sinking into our waist. Sit up tall. Use your muscles to help you sit up tall. Reach out. If you can grab the foot, grab the foot. If you can grab the shin, that's fine too. Let yourself go. Even let that leg go. Let that foot go. Just allow yourself to passively stretch here. If you do have a hold of your foot, and this is a pose you do on a regular basis, you might notice that you're going a little bit further just because of the activeness that we've held in those muscles during the stretch before. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, bring that right knee up towards the ceiling, right foot onto the mat. So heel goes just to the outside of your sit bone. I know this is a pose that a lot of us work on a regular basis, but we're gonna work on it again using the same concept with these shoulders that we did while we were lying down. So first thing you're doing is you're pressing as hard as you can into that right foot and you're reaching through your left foot. Then you're gonna sit up tall and you're gonna reach your arms up towards the ceiling. We're reaching those arms up while also plugging them in towards our torso. And I want you to lean forward. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward, reaching. Take the thumbs down towards the mat. Look at the same concept that we've used before. Act like you're swimming. Take those arms open, chest open. Reach those arms back. Wrap them in front of your right shin. If you wrap them in front of your right shin, reach towards your hands. Hold hands if you can. Exhale, release. Come back and switch sides. So shake that right leg out a little bit, give it a moment. And we're gonna switch sides by taking that left leg up, left ankle on top of the right thigh. So same thing, if you need to move it over just a little bit, you can. Keep that right foot active, but also plugging it back into your hip. Sit up as tall as you can. Reach those arms up. Plug those shoulders in towards your torso. Pull your lower ribs in. Keep your whole body active in this stretch. Slowly start to hinge forward. Only going as far as you can go while still keeping this body active. So we're keeping the arms active. We're reaching. We're tucking. We're plugging. Everything is active. And inhale back up the same way we started. Exhale. Good. Take that right foot, bring it in. Easy John U.A. pose. This time we're gonna make this stretch a little bit passive. Reach those arms up, plug those shoulders in, reach out. Reach out towards that right foot if you have a hold of the foot or the shin. Either way is fine. Let your whole body melt into this pose. You can still shift or wiggle or add any extra activity that you need to in your body to help this stretch. Maybe you notice more of a stretch on the left lower back than the right. If that feels good and you want to add more of a stretch, go for it. Shift to your right, stretch out that left side more. Inhale, take an exhale, come up, Take the right knee up towards the ceiling, right foot down onto the mat. Right heel goes just to the outside of your sit bone. Sit up tall, both arms to the inside of that left leg. Right foot plugs in towards your right hip. Sit up tall, reach those arms up, plug the shoulders in. Pull the core in, press into that left foot, lift. Exhale, we're folding forward, hinging forward, reaching those hands out while still keeping them active, thumbs up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thumbs down towards the mat. Just like you're swimming, press all the way through that water, keeping those shoulders active, wrapping that left arm in front of your left shin, bringing the arms behind the back, holding hands if you can. If you can't hold hands, it's good to just keep those arms going back. Keep reaching and plugging through that right leg, grounding down into your left foot. Exhale, release. Come back up and let it go. Both legs come out, shake those feet side to side, relax your hips. And we're gonna lie right down onto our backs, the same way we started class this morning. Lie. Reach your hands out over top of your head. Let those shoulders go. Those elbows relax. The legs relax. Take a moment here. This is not quite Shavasana yet, but I want you to get those muscles to reset. So shake those hips just gently side to side as you shake the feet side to side. Wiggle your fingers or see how you can relax your shoulders and your elbows more. Take and tuck those knees one at a time in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around. I want you to take your arms out to the sides, onto the mat. Just let them relax. Keep the knees tucked in as close as you can, and we're going to drop them over to the right. Drop them over to the right, getting a nice side body stretch in that left side. And I want you to take this left hand and I want you to reach it over to the right. So lying on your side, pull that core in, keep your legs tucked in, and we're going to open it back up. Open that left arm up, bring it all the way back. Nice big stretch, bring it back, reach through your fingertips, and then exhale, let it go. Just melt. Gently bring yourself back to center. You can hug those knees in if you need to or you want to. We're going to take and drop those knees over to the left. Getting a side body stretch on the right side. Reaching both arms out. And same thing on this side, reach that right arm over, bring the palms together, take the right hand over to the left hand, try to match your fingers up with each other. And then we're going to open it back up, opening up our chest with a big stretch, so reach that right arm up, over, reach out through those fingertips, open up your chest, reach it out, and exhale, release. Gently and slowly bring those legs back to center. And if there's anything else that your body's calling for, you can go ahead and do that now. Or you can lie down onto your mat, coming into your final relaxation and rest pose, Shavasana. Allow your body to just be here. As you bring your breath back to a natural state of breathing, take a quick body scan and notice if there's anything else you can do that would allow your body to relax a little bit deeper. Is there any way you can shift or wiggle to make muscles more comfortable or more relaxed? Start to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring some awareness and movement back into this body. Bring your knees in toward your chest. Just dump yourself over to your right side. And whenever you're ready, moving yourself into a seated position on your mat. Bring your hands together. Take a big breath in. I'm going to leave you with this quote this morning that kind of sums up our year. You have to take it one "are you kidding me" at a time. The light in me honors the light in you, as the light in you honors the light in me. Namaste. Thanks for coming this morning. Thanks for joining in on the class library. I hope you have a really great week.